today we're going to be painting another of the 12-inch DC figures. So we've done some Marvel ones. This time we're doing Aquaman, one of the DC people. So it's quite a nice looking figure, lots of texture on it. It's a bit blandly painted, so we're going to paint the face, and we might do some of the uniform as well, at least sort of give it a dry brush. It's a nicely articulated figure, this one. So I'm going to see if I can get the head off first. It's quite solid on there, so I'm going to go and dunk it in some boiling water for a bit, and then we'll come back and we'll start painting. Okay, so getting his head off is a bit problematic on this one, because normally it's a soft rubber head, which means it pops off and then there's a ball joint. In this one, he's actually got like a neck piece that goes right down into the body. So the best I've been able to do is get his hair off, so I can paint that. At least lets me get around the neck. So I think that will work, but it is an unusual one. So what we're going to do first is just coat the entire head and his hands in a flesh tone. And as usual on that one, the flesh tone I'm going to use is Cadian flesh tones, and that's diluted with a little amount of light flesh. So let me mix it up and then we'll come back and paint this. Okay, so we're just gonna give him a coat of flesh. Just get my paintbrush. I'm also going to paint his hands. So I'm going to give that a couple of coats, a couple of more coats on the face, and then we'll come back and we can start weathering it. So while we're waiting for the face to dry, I'm just going to give the hair a coat in Rhinox hide, which is quite a nice sort of dark brown. And then we're going to lighten it with some lighter brown to make it look more like hair, but a base coat of Rhinox hide is going to be fine. Let me just bring this over here a bit. There we go. While I'm doing this, Aquaman isn't actually out yet. There's a couple of trailers been out. This is the figure from the Justice League, which I really liked. I thought it was a good film. But what do you think of Aquaman? Are you looking forward to it? I'm not sure what to make of it. It was never a sort of a favourite character of mine when I was a child. I don't think they're particularly following the comic one. But yeah, what do you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. Are you looking forward to it? Do you think the DC film universe is a complete mess? I don't. I quite enjoy them. I think Suicide Squad was one of my favourite superhero films, even for all its flaws. And I'm probably in a minority that I thought Jared Leto was an excellent Joker, even though he's not in it much. Just let that dry. So I've been looking at some stills, and while we're waiting for the face to dry, these panels with like the fish scales on are actually green with gold edging, and then the rest of it is gold. So I'm just going to do some paint these green just to give it a bit of detail, just to make it look a bit different. And I'm just going to use probably Warg Flesh. That's quite a nice green. Okay, so I'm just going to do that on all the other panels. Okay, well, I've painted some of the green panels on his uniform. He looks a bit better already. So we're going to add some washes to his face. I'm going to use Repainting Flesh Shade, which is my go-to shading. Right, I'm also going to run flesh wash into his hands, and then we'll come back when that's dry. While we're waiting for the face to dry again, we're just going to dry brush a slightly lighter brown, and then just keep doing light browns until it starts to look like hair. So I'm going to use the Rhinox hide with just a touch of white in it. It just brings out some of the detail, and then as we get lighter, it'll bring out more and more of the detail. Let's have a look. So the face is, see, definitely touch of the Sean Connors. So all we're going to do on the face is a little bit of the flesh colour, slightly lightened, just to bring out the detail. Oops, now that shows you what can go wrong. So I've just wiped my brush on a piece of rag to dry brush it, and it had some colour and it's picked up. So it's not a disastrous. We can just paint over that, which is what I'll do now. But that's what happens when you don't pay total attention to something. There we go. So we'll let that dry. Right, so I've repaired his face. So all I'm going to do now is got a slightly darker flesh shade. I'm just going to try and dry brush a little bit around his eyes. That's alright. So what we're going to do next is paint his eyeballs. Which is something I don't really enjoy doing that much because it tends to go wrong. Okay. I'm also going to mix a little bit of red in with the flesh colour, just to make a lip colour. You don't want it too red because otherwise he'll look like he's wearing lipstick, which I'm not sure he does. Okay, so while we're waiting for the eyes to dry, we can paint in his eyebrows and beard. And I'm just going to use the same Rhinox hide for the base coat. And weirdly, he's got a scar on this side of his eyebrow where he's missing some hair. There we go. And we're going to let that dry. In the meantime, we can paint his eyeball. paint a lovely face. And you think finished, and then you see it on photograph, and the eyeballs make it look boss-eyed. Okay, so we're going to do a bit of dry brush and a lighter brown into his beard, and I'm going to use for that, I have a lighter brown, and that's Mornfang brown, so we'll use that. I'm going to mix some Avalon Sunset with that brown that I just used, just to make almost a sandy brown. Let's come back when it's dry. We're going to do the rest of his eye, so it's basically just a black dot, a line above the eye, and a little white reflection. So I'm going to use black. And all I'm going to do is run Flesh Wash under the eye. So all I'm going to do now is let that dry. So I'm going to get some gold and just dry brush gold over the green patches. And then we'll see what he looks like. He should almost be done by then. Let's come back when we've dry brushed that. Okay, so I've stuck the hair on. Didn't really need glue in. I've done some dry brushing on the uniform to bring out the scales, bit of dry brushing on the hands, and then the face paint I think really brings out it's a very good sculpt. I think that's a nice one that's going to go on the shelf with pride, I think. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It was good fun painting that. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. And I'll put some links to some of my other painting of these 12-inch cheap figures that I've done before, so please have a look at them. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks then, bye.